What's up guys, Card Protagonist here, and today I'm gonna do a deck profile on the Light and Darkness Jackknife deck from the brand new set Evolution and Mutation. Honestly, I haven't come up with a name with this deck because I kinda like to call it the Light and Darkness set since you'll be using the Radiant Jackknife Aster and the Darkness Dragoner Jackknife in one single deck. So I find this deck really cool, and since you guys really like the Dark series that I've been making so far, I decided to come up with the Jackknife deck because in my opinion, Jackknife, the new Jackknife is actually really good and really underrated due to the fact that he doesn't seem to support the whole Jackknife archetype. However, if you guys put into perspective, he's actually an upgraded version of the Star Guardian Jackknife. Alright, think about it. You're gonna get the same effect, but the Darkness Dragoner Jackknife actually has a very amazing effect which you can combo with many cards in this deck to do an unlimited loop of madness. So one card that I would recommend you to put in this deck is Gabriel Anchor. Imagine this, while Gabriel Anchor is in the soul and this card attacks, and let's say your opponent were to use a negate, you use Gabriel Anchor, nullify the negate, and you trigger its effect, because when this card deals damage to your opponent, you can put the top 3 cards of the deck into the drop zone, then choose a card from among them and put into this card soul. So if you think about it, you're paying 1 gauge for free. I'm paying 1 gauge and soul blasting this guy out to get another soul back inside, and meanwhile dropping more stuff into the drop zone so that more cards when you call, such as Jackknife, which fetch stuff into the soul from the drop zone, can plus off this ability. And yeah, you can basically loop Gabriel Anchor with many of the cards in this deck. And so I'm just gonna do a deck profile on it so that you guys can understand the deck. So yeah, without further ado, let us begin. So first up, we play 4 copies of for the Buddy, we play a Quantum Ruler, a very good card. Whenever you have Neo Dragon with a card in the soul, you can charge and draw. So it's a +1, it's a very good card. It's basically a Flapang Dragon. Yeah, you draw a +1 and get 1 gauge. Really love this card. And we just really love this Secret Flex in the new set. So first up, we play 4 copies of Dark Jack. It is a Darkness Dragon World and a Star Dragon World card. So its core cost is put a card from a drop zone into this card soul and pay 1 gauge. It is similar to this Jack, which it's good because you can choose whatever Dragon Arms you can add into the soul. You could put Gabriel Anchor, you could put Charger to draw an extra card. So any cards of this is up to your liking. Alright, his main ability comes from when this card deals damage to your opponent, put the top 3 cards of the deck into the drop zone and put a card among them into this card soul from your hand. So you can basically draw 1 card when your opponent deals damage to you. So think about it. I use Gabriel Anchor. Okay, attack. I will just Soul Blast Gabriel Anchor, nullify your negates. You will take 2 damage, sir, and you can basically either look at top 3 cards and add 1 card. So it's basically a Devil Barak. It's the Daryl Barak ability in a very nice card. So I really love this Dragoner. It looks amazing as well. Check out its Dark Armor. It's Dark Core. Alright, so that's 4 copies of Jack. Of course, let's not forget 4 copies of... Oh, sorry, I played 3 copies and 1 Star Dragoner because I'm actually testing it. And to be honest, I actually only have 3 copies of Star Guardian Jackknife, but I'm going to get a 4 copy very soon. So I'm still testing Star Dragoner Jackknife. Yeah, because this deck focuses more on the drop zone abilities, so in my opinion, Star Guardian Jackknife will be better in this case because it also has the extra 6k defense, which is much more tankier. Pay 1 gauge when this card enters the field, put up to 1 monster from the drop zone into this card soul. So similar to Dark Dragoner Jack, just that he has 3 crits and Dark Dragoner Jack is only 2 crits. Alright. Star Dragoner Jackknife, however, is when his card enters the field, look at top 3 cards of the deck and place 1 of them into the card soul. So yeah, you will have to depend a lot of RNG. If you don't put a Dragon Arm in the soul, it's kind of sad. This is why I kind of prefer those that add cards from the drop zone because it's more consistent. Alright. And finally, without further ado, we play 4 copies of Jackknife Aster. Aster is a 1 tanky mofo. His ability is basically, you can put this on a monster with Jackknife his name. So this is a Jackknife deck. So definitely we will have that Jackknife. Put this on top of Jackknife and pay 1 gauge. During your opponent's turn, this card with Dragon Arms and so cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effect. So it's really tanky because the opponent won't be able to use removal on this guy. And you cannot be dealt damage, and items on the field cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. That is amazing because destruction is there's a lot of destruction nowadays, and Aster just protect the whole board from getting destroyed. It's an amazing card, and this is no wonder it kind of saved the world and is able to time leap into the future. If you guys watched the 100 Demon series, Tasuku rescued Jack from the future. Alright, so next is the Dragon Arms, the support of the Neo Dragons. Radiant Scudo. Radiant Scudo is basically our negate. Yes, this deck will be playing the Gao formation with a bit of help with the weapons. With the bit help of the weapons, you'll be able to move. But most of the time, I'm gonna focus more on Radiant Star linkage because it allows your Jackknife to restand and attack. And guess what card benefits on that? This card. Restand attack. Okay, you negate, I'll use Gabriel Anchor. You attack, I attack, you negate with, and I'll use Gabriel Anchor, negate that. I use this card again, restand, attack again, getting more pluses. That is sick. I tested that combo and it's so much fun. Alright, so Radiant Scubo is basically while this card's in the soul of your Jackknife, you can pay 1 gauge, nullify attack. So yeah, and if this card is in the soul of Jackknife, the card name, the cost for Devotion War is reduced by 1 gauge. So basically, you just need to just Soul Blast itself without paying any gauge. You get a free negate, and so many cool stuff you can do is use Starjack Repair, get it back to the soul. Next turn you can use that recycle the negate again. That's great. And we have Starjack Docking, which you nullify attack. Okay, one combo I like to do is I Soul Blast it, nullify attack, Starjack Docking, get this card back into the soul, negate again. So at the cost of one card, you're negating 3 times. That's crazy. Yeah, this is one combo I like to pull off for more tankiness. Alright, so there's 4 copies of Scudo. Next up is 4 copies of Quantum Ruler. Quantum Ruler is when this card enters the field and you have a Neo Dragon with 1 or more soul, you can just charge and draw. So it's a +1 to your gauge and +1 to your hand. Great. That's my Buddy. And 3 copies of Luminous Blue. Star Dragon and Luminous Blue. When this card gains +1k attack and defense for each card, for each soul in cards on your field. So Jackknife, you usually stack a lot of soul into him. You stack a lot of soul. Oh, I kind of realized that you actually, when you check your top 3 cards, you can choose to put either into your hand or into your soul. So if you see a Dragon Arm, add to the soul. If it's not a Dragon Arm, add to your hand. It's great because I could add negates to my hand as well. Okay, his ability: when this card attacks, you may put a monster from your drop zone into a soul of Neo Dragon, recycle all that awesome Gabriel Anchor, and all that Radiant Scudo. So yeah, recycle all these. These are your main Dragon Arms. These are the main equipments that wins you games. Alright, so it's just 3 copies. And 2 copies of Gabriel Anchor. Gabriel Anchor is a reprint from the set. It's a wonderful reprint because it's really, really difficult to get it. Counter: when your opponent casts a spell, you may put this card from the soul of a Neo Dragon into the drop zone, pay 1 gauge at 1 life. If you do, nullify the spell cast. So if your opponent's going to use green Dragon Shield or blue Dragon Shield, I just Soul Blast it, your shields are nullified and my attack goes through, which goes well with the darkness check. Right? So 2 copies for that awesome kick. 1 copy of Charger. Charger is when this card is placed on the soul from the field or drop zone, you pay 1 gauge and draw a card. So a really great card to combo with Starjack Repair. You can charge one gauge and gain 1 soul. Then since this soul is gone inside, you can pay that gauge to draw a card. So this is a very nice combo I like to pull off sometimes. And finally, let's go on to the spells. For the spells, we have 4 copies of Starjack Repair. You have many awesome equipments, aka Dragon Arms, that you like to put in the soul. So this actually supports your Dragon Arm system. So you may only cast a card with a Jackknife in the card name on the field, put the top card of deck into the gauge, and put a card from a drop zone into a soul of a Neo Dragon. So yeah, extra tankiness for Jack, giving Jack more support, more awesome powers. Now, the nullified version of Starjack Repair, Starjack Docking. He's a new card from the set. You may only cast this card during attack on your opponent's turn, and you do not have a monster in the center. So it's basically encouraging you to play the Gao formation, the open center attacks. Pay 1 gauge and nullify attack, then put 1 card from drop zone into the soul of Neo Dragon. So once again, repair your Neo Dragons with awesome Dragon Arms. More negates. For Proto Barrier, Tasuku's favorite Dragon Shield, is basically the blue Dragon Shield of Star Dragon World. You may only cast a card if you are being attacked directly, which is most of the time because I will be leaving open center, and no one's gonna attack Jack because Jack has really high stats most of the time. 2 copies of Earth Barrier. Earth Barrier is basically the green Dragon Shield or Star Dragon World, 95 attack and gain 1 life. Now, for the equipments, we play 4 copies of Radiant Star Linkage. This is my favorite weapon. You can play in so many Jack decks, but in this deck, it's actually really good. It combos really well with Dark Jack, since Dark Jack is not a once per turn effect. Attack with Dark Jack, attack goes through, I get a +1. Activate its effect, rest its card, and you can stand a Jack. Jack attacks. Oh, is it gonna hit? Either way, I could either nullify your spells or it's definitely gonna hit, so I'm just gonna get a +1. So it goes really well in this deck. Love this weapon. 2 copies of Providence. Providence is just there if you are going for Aster, because Aster is really tanky and it can't be destroyed by card effects. So I like to move Aster to center to make a really tanky beast. So Aster in the center, you usually have so you could move it. So you could Guard Formation attack, then move it to center and tank with it. So yeah, this is pretty much it. It's just a backup weapon. Personally, I will go Linkage more because Linkage will give you so much plus. And finally, for the impacts, we play 4 copies of Radiant Punisher, Tasuku's signature impact. He is the original user of the Punishers. So yeah, you may only cast this card if both players do not have a monster in the center and you have a size 2 or greater Neo Dragon on the field. So for the cost of 3 gauge and 1 life, deal 4 damage to your opponent. This card cannot be nullified and damage can be reduced. One cool thing is you could actually use this early game because it doesn't have any life restrictions. So if your opponent is at 10 life, you could cast this and deal 4 to them any single time, as long as it's 3 gauge. And gauge is never a problem in this deck because we have stuff like just Star Trek Repair and many other cards that help you get the gauge. So yeah, I hope you guys love and enjoy the deck profile on the Darkness Jack deck. If you'd like to buy Buddyfight decks, be sure to check out Buddy-Mart.com, link in the description down below. If you'd like to buy all these awesome decks and many decks from Evolution and Mutation, definitely check us out and follow our Facebook page. So, peace out and love you guys. Rawr.